The farmers' agitation against the three farm laws has now entered day 20, and it's clear that these farmers are in no mood to relent till the reforms are completely withdrawn. Farmer union leaders will be meeting at Singhu border at 11 a.m. today to discuss the proposals given by the centre to allay their fears. Farmers have maintained that if the government doesn't budge on their demands, more and more farmers will only join the protest at Delhi's borders. The centre, meanwhile, awaits a response from the farmer union leaders on the proposals. So far, the centre and farmers have met 5 times in the last 4 months. Until now, there's been no concrete result that's come off the talks. Uncertainty still looms over the next round of dialogue amid a lot of politics also that's playing out. The BJP will launch its mega farmer outreach program to create awareness about the laws, and this particular campaign will be focused in Delhi, in Madhya Pradesh and in Uttar Pradesh.
ये सब जगह सक्सेसफुल रहा और बहुत शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से रहा। जो लोग हमारे 11 आदमी यहाँ पे 12 आदमी बैठे और उनका बड़ा तपस्या रही। एक सरकार को एक मैसेज गया, सरकार हमारी बात सुने। कोई हम भी सरकार का और नहीं है कि हम पूर्ण नो आ रहे हैं। यहाँ पे सरकारों को बात सुननी पड़ेगी। वे आज सुन लें, वे 10 दिन में सुन लें। हम बात से इसका समाधान चाहते हैं। ठीक है, किसान वापसी नहीं जाना यहाँ से।
अभी हम लोगों ने कहा है कि बातचीत करने के लिए तैयार हैं। उनका प्रस्ताव आएगा तो निश्चित रूप से सरकार बातचीत करेगी। ये कानून किसानों के जीवन स्तर में बदलाव लाने के लिए आए हैं। इन कानूनों के पीछे भारत सरकार की नीति और नीयत दोनों सही है, और हम लोगों ने जो अपनी तरफ से प्रस्ताव दिए हैं उन पर उनका क्या मत है वो व्यक्त करेंगे, तो निश्चित रूप से हम लोग चर्चा को आगे बढ़ाएंगे।
There are many amongst them who are sitting there chanting death to Modi. Is that a part of our democratic right to want the Prime Minister of this country dead? It is leaders such as Arvind Kejriwal who are sitting on a dharna in Delhi, blocking traffic of Delhi citizens. Isn't he answerable to the citizens of Delhi? Should Amrinder Singh ji and Arvind Kejriwal not answer about those people who stand before them and ask for Modi to be put to death?
And Rahul Kawal also spoke to Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari, who came out to defend the new farm laws. Here's what he said.
I want to start by asking you about where you think this farmer agitation is going from here. सरकार किसानों से कह रही है कि वो बात करने को तैयार है। किसान कह रहे हैं अगर आप ये तीनों कानून वापस नहीं लोगे तो हमारा जो एजिटेशन है उसको हम और बढ़ाते जाएंगे और इंटेंसिफाई करते जाएंगे। अब सरकार की क्या स्ट्रेटेजी बन रही है, गडकरी जी?
देखिए राहुल जी, पहली बात तो ये है कि ये तीनों कानून किसानों के हितों में है। अगर इसका एक एक कलम वाइज चर्चा करने के लिए अगर किसान तैयार है तो सरकार उसके लिए तैयार है। मैं आपको एक सिंपल बात बताता हूँ। आप फार्मेसी के दुकान में जाइए दवाई खरीदने के लिए, तो दवाई की कीमत फार्मेसी वाला तय करता है। आप होटल में चाय और नाश्ते के लिए जाइए, क्या खाएंगे क्या पिएंगे इसकी कीमत होटल वाला तय करता है। आप रेलवे में बैठिए, रेलवे में टिकट का रेट क्या होगा ये रेलवे तय करती है। आप एयरलाइंस में जाने का तय करिए, कहाँ जाना है उसका टिकट एयरलाइंस तय करती है। पर फार्मर को अपने उपज के भाव तय करने का अधिकार नहीं है। अभी आप फार्मर जब लेके जाता है मार्केट में तो बिचौलिया जो होता है वो, और उसके साथ साथ व्यापारी उसका भाव तय करते हैं। क्या फार्मर को अपने उपज का भाव तय करने का अधिकार नहीं है? अभी मैंने नागपुर के किसानों का, नागपुरी ऑरेंज बहुत प्रसिद्ध है, वो 12 रुपये 14 रुपये किलो जाता था। हमने सबने मिलकर किसानों को मदद की और दुबई में 6 कंटेनर एक्सपोर्ट किए, उसको 32 रुपये किलो का भाव मिला है। क्या मुझे लगता है किसानों को अपना भाव तय करने का अधिकार नहीं है? क्या किसानों का मार्केट में शोषण होता रहेगा? क्या उनका माल कचरे के भाव से खरीदा जाएगा और किसान चुप बैठेगा? क्या व्यापार और दलालियों के जो दलाल जो है, मीडिएटर्स, बिचौलिए, उनके कल्याण के बारे में हम सोचेंगे कि किसान के बारे में सोचेंगे?
So the government has been continuously reaching out to these protesters who are against the farm laws. The BJP General Secretary Arun Singh, meanwhile, has accused the Tukre Tukre gang of hijacking this protest. This comes after top ministers accused the ultra-left and extremists of infiltrating the agitation.
Last week, posters of Delhi riot accused and alleged urban Naxals appeared at the Tikri border. one of the main border flashpoints of the farmer protests. As intelligence sources warned of ultra-left and extremist hijacking the agitation, in the days that followed, the controversial posters were removed.
Even till yesterday, these posters were there at several places around where I'm standing at the moment. But this morning, all of them have been removed. The farmers are protesting here, agitating here for last 17 days. And that was also gave an opportunity to the critics that in the grab of this farmers' protest, there are many other elements who are trying to take benefit out of it.
Farmer leaders who have so far maintained that the protest is apolitical say that they will not let anyone use the stir for any other agenda.
टिकरी बॉर्डर पे कुछ पोस्टर्स नजर आए तो हम कड़ी शब्दों में हम इसकी निंदा करते हैं। देश की अंदरूनी सुरक्षा के बारे में या राष्ट्रवाद के बारे में कोई समझौता हम बिल्कुल यहाँ पे करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है।
The BJP, however, alleges that elements from the Tukde Tukde gang have infiltrated the farmer agitation.
कि भोले भाले किसान हैं, लेकिन उनके बीच में कुछ टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग के लोग भी घुस गए हैं और मीडिया भी देख रही है। किसान भोले भाले हैं, लेकिन कुछ लोग उसमें शामिल हो गए हैं।
With the centre claiming that anti-national elements are trying to hijack the farmer protest, the opposition is accusing the government of being anti-farmer.
कह रहे हैं कि ये आतंकवादी हैं, किसान आतंकवादी हैं। कह रहे हैं कि किसान देशद्रोही हैं, किसान टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग हैं। कह रहे हैं कि किसान चीन और पाकिस्तान के एजेंट हैं। ये जो किसान बैठे हैं ना, इन्हीं लोगों के भाई, इन्हीं लोगों के बेटे चीन और पाकिस्तान के बॉर्डर के ऊपर देश की सुरक्षा कर रहे हैं।
यांच्या न्याय हक्काबद्दल जर कोणी काय बोललं तर तो देशद्रोही। मग उद्या मी तुम्हाला अर्थात ते कालचं तुमचं आंदोलन हे त्या कायद्याविरुद्ध होतं, पण मग मी तुम्हाला असं म्हणेन का की हे चीनी पत्रकार आहेत, हे पाकिस्तानी पत्रकार आहेत, हा हे अयोग्य आहे। म्हणजे जर विरोधात बोलला आणि त्याला तुरुंगात टाकलं ही आणीबाणी असेल तर न्याय हक्कासाठी लढ्याला उतरल्यानंतर त्यांना देशद्रोही ठरवणं हे आणीबाणीपेक्षाही जास्त मोठं पातक आहे।
The farmer agitation has now been raging on for nearly 20 days. Have the protests been politicized, or is this an attempt to chip away its credibility? Bureau Report, India Today.
Another story we're tracking closely this Tuesday morning is on the Karnataka Assembly, which may witness a stormy session, and that's because the contentious anti-cow slaughter bill will be tabled in the State Legislative Council. This comes after the Legislative Secretariat had in fact issued an order on late Saturday convening the council session to discuss and pass pending bills. The contentious anti-cow slaughter bill was passed in Assembly last week. The Congress had alleged that the bill was introduced and passed without any discussion. During the session, the Congress will vote against the bill. The JDS wants to send the bill to a select committee before approval.
It was adjourned sine die without any proper BSc decision. Now our parliamentary minister had asked for a session on 15th and now it has been called. So BSc will take all these decisions which will to be passed and thing. In the meantime, there is a no confidence motion against the chairman itself, and there are rules. After 14 days, within 5 days it has to go through. So naturally we are going to press that.
Bharatiya Janata Party's government proved that anti-cow slaughter bill is just a political one. They are not serious about that bill. If they were to be serious about that bill, they should have taken it up on day before yesterday when the House was adjourned. They brought it on the agenda and they did not take it up. What does it mean? They have to answer this question.
And well, cracks seem to have emerged within the ruling Trinamool Congress ahead of next year's assembly polls. Party strongman Suvendu Adhikari is likely to leave the party. TMC MLA Jitendra Tiwari has written a letter also to a Bengal minister alleging that funds were blocked, which is hampering development work. Manoge Loiwal gets you all the updates.
Mukul Roy, Arjun Singh, Soumitra Khan, Anupam Hazra. They were all once Mamata Banerjee's lieutenants. One after the other, they have dumped Didi to join the BJP. While BJP grows in strength, the TMC is weakening, with leaders holding a political base deserting its rank and file. Ahead of the 2021 polls, Shubhendu Adhikari, another TMC strongman, and Mamta confidant is all set to part ways with the party. TMC MLA from Asansol, Jitendra Tiwari, is the latest to take aim at the Mamta administration. In a hard-hitting letter, Tiwari has accused his own government of depriving central funds to the industrial town of Asansol.
যে আমার মন্ত্রীকে আমি জানিয়েছি যে প্লিজ অ্যারেঞ্জ করুন যাতে আসানসোলে মানুষ যে সমস্যার সম্মুখীন হয়েছে সেটা থেকে আসানসোলে মানুষকে আমরা মুক্তি দিতে পারি। আমি এটা বলবো না, আমি বলবো যে পয়সা না আসার কারণে আসানসোল বঞ্চিত হচ্ছে। এবার রাজ্য নীতিতে আসবে না কেন্দ্রের নীতিতে আসবে না কোথা থেকে আসবে সেটা আমি জানি।
Tiwari's rebellious letter comes even as the BJP accused Mamta of blocking central schemes to the state.
स्पीड ब्रेकर दीदी के कारनामों की लिस्ट बहुत लंबी है। दीदी ने पश्चिम बंगाल के 70 लाख से ज्यादा किसान परिवारों के लिए उनके विकास के काम पर भी ब्रेक लगा दिया है।
The growing discord within the TMC is a jolt to the Chief Minister. Even as she faces the threat to her rule posed by the resurgent BJP, keeping her own flock together could become Mamta's biggest challenge ahead of next year's elections.
One after the other, TMC MLAs are now either raising decibel of difference of opinion with the top leadership in the party or shooting letters on various issues that haven't found a mention till now. It is not just about the difference of opinion, but also dissent that is rising one after the other. And what could be worse than TMC now not fighting the BJP, instead a TMC versus TMC in the state of West Bengal. With camera person Tapas Berry and Anil Giri, this is Manogya Loiwal in Kolkata for India Today.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Gujarat's Kutch today. In a day-long visit, the Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone for several development projects. At around 11 a.m., the Prime Minister will arrive, after which he'll inaugurate big projects like the Kutch Desalination Plant, which is India's largest hybrid renewable energy park, and also a fully automated milk processing and packing plant. At 5 p.m. in the evening, the Prime Minister will visit the White Run, after which he will also attend a grand culture program. The COVID pandemic has become a means of profiteering for some, and India Today has been exposing those who are exploiting the coronavirus crisis through a series of special investigations. Now we expose laboratories that are issuing bogus COVID reports as well.
Tracking the virus down. A critical step in the fight against the pandemic. But an India Today investigation has found how some unscrupulous elements are worsening the dire situation by issuing forged lab results. Some hospital staff have been found to be manipulating them in exchange for money. Like this lab technician Amit at Kanpur's UHM District Hospital. When our reporter inquired, Amit demanded rupees 1,500 for a fake result.
फॉर्म भर के ये आप जाइए शाम को आपका काम हो जाए छुट्टी चाहिए ना 14 दिन की।
India Today's investigative journalist met Amit again the same evening. No actual sample, no lab examination, but a report generated on demand.
आप किसी को फ़ोन नहीं करेंगे कि हम गए थे तो हमने इसे कराया पॉजिटिव, हमें कि हम गए थे तो पॉजिटिव कराया है, बस अपने घर पे रहिएगा और हमें बताया ना कि हमारा टेस्ट हुआ। हाँ आप छुट्टी चाहिए ना 14 दिन की। दिक्कत के लिए तो बता आपको यहाँ से हम आज चलाएँगे, कल सुबह तक रिपोर्ट आपको दे देंगे। बहुत लोग अच्छा हमारे मिलने वाले जाने कितने हैं, कितने का भाग चलेगा छुट्टी के लिए कितना बताया तुमने? इन्होंने 1500 बताया, कुछ कम कर देख
There you go. A positive report from a test never carried out was issued and put on the government's COVID portal. At the Pandit Umashankar District Hospital in Unnao, lab staff A.B. Chaudhary guaranteed a negative COVID certificate for a man in Delhi if paid rupees 1,500.
दिल्ली में भी भाई मेरा मान के लो 1500 रुपये रॉयल्टी से बात करना पड़ेगा 1500 में हो जाएगा कब मिल जाएगा रिपोर्ट एंटीजन मिलेगी नेगेटिव ना तो मैं आपको नाम दे देता हूँ आप बनवा दो लो डिटेल ले लो
No verification of documents, the so-called man is far off in Delhi. Abracadabra. Here's the negative report issued online. At Lucknow's Balrampur Hospital, a lab staff, Raiz, solicited rupees 3,000 for issuing a false COVID positive report.
बात कर ली है वो समझ लो कि बताओ हमको हम अभी कर देंगे वेट करना पड़ेगा
लेकिन तो मेरा नेगेटिव आएगा
भैया तो जब समझ हो गया नेगेटिव आता है कोई पॉजिटिव ही रहेगा
रिपोर्ट पॉजिटिव है
हाँ रुपये 3,000 पड़ेंगे हाँ
3,000 में
हाँ
तो पॉजिटिव रिपोर्ट मिल जाएगा
हाँ
Counterfeit test results. An even bigger surge can't be ruled out if this malpractice is not nipped right away. A report by Mohammed Hizbullah for India Today's Special Investigation Team.
And the first shot of the coronavirus vaccine has been administered in the United States. Nurse Sandra Lindsay became the first American to be administered the shot developed by Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech. United States is the worst hit country and the vaccine comes at a time when the country is nearing 3 lakh deaths. US President Donald Trump congratulated his countrymen and the world soon after the shot was administered. Meanwhile, Singapore government has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong has announced that the vaccine will roll out and will begin by December end. Prime Minister Loong also stated that the vaccine will be free for all citizens, including long-term citizens who are currently in Singapore.
Governor Coma, I'm feeling well. I would like to thank all the frontline workers, all my colleagues who've been doing a yeoman's job to fight this pandemic all over the world. I am hopeful, I feel hopeful today, relieved. I feel like healing is coming. I hope this marks the beginning to the end of a very painful time in our history.
The first shipment should arrive by the end of this month, making Singapore one of the first countries to obtain this vaccine. We also expect other vaccines to arrive in Singapore in the coming months. If all goes according to plan, we'll have enough vaccines for everyone in Singapore by the third quarter of 2021.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.